Folks, I have yet another Karen who found out the hard way that spewing MAGA's racist dribble in the real world will get you fired.
You're fired! Get out of here! You're fired!
This woman thought that just because her customers were Somali and that community has become MAGA's newest target, that she could call them the most vile things while standing behind the counter at the Cinnabon.
Suck it!
Suck what? Look how you fucking look like.
What's wrong with you?
Reality hit hard, despite her smug attitude in this video, which really just makes the karma that much sweeter. If you guys want to support us here at Really American, all you gotta do is subscribe on YouTube and down on Substack. Okay, let's get into it.
That's I am racist.
So idiot for
and
real.
You are an
You are an idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruined your life, by the way.
Oh, you talk about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you
Suck
fucking look
it.
like.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch? Get the fuck out of my
Ugly?
face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
It didn't take long for Cinnabon Corporate to hear about this incident. They responded to this post saying, "We've seen the disturbing video from the Cinnabon Bakery in Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, and we do not condone this behavior. The former employee was immediately terminated by the franchise owner. Their actions do not reflect our values or the welcoming experience every guest deserves." Turns out that saying the N-word and flipping the bird to customers isn't great for selling people cinnamon rolls. The Somali community seems to be taking this in stride, though. There's all kinds of jokes getting thrown around online because of these recent attacks from MAGA and Trump, who claim that the large Somali community in Minnesota are taking over the state, a claim that Somalians are just running with.
Brothers, behold it. The white land of the north. Snow everywhere. But look, the skyline, just like on the old drawings.
This is Somalia. 3 centuries past, it was promised to us.
They're making hilarious posts like this, claiming that Abraham Lincoln's grandfather was actually of Somali descent, and that the former president of Somalia is actually a descendant of Abraham Lincoln. They're also posting pictures like this, a Somali version of the Manifest Destiny painting. And all of these jokes are just sending MAGA right over the edge. In retaliation, they're trying to get this girl, I guess her name is Crystal, hundreds of thousands of dollars like they did with that other racist woman who called that child the N-word. Interestingly enough, that was also in Minnesota and also a Somali immigrant. Her name is Shiloh Hendricks, and despite raising hundreds of thousands of dollars from fellow racists from across the country, just recently Shiloh was charged with disorderly conduct for her actions on that playground, so let's hope it goes about as well for this girl as it did for Shiloh. MAGA's feud with the Somali community got kicked into high gear last week when the New York Times published a bombshell piece detailing rampant fraud in the Minnesota social services, particularly in the Somali community. This gave MAGA all the ammo they needed to switch from Haitians being the #1 fear-mongering immigrant group.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
To now Somalians, who Trump is trying to paint as public enemy #1, lying about the severity of the fraud and just straight up floating the idea of targeted mass deportations.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care.
The president has always had very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic comments when it comes to people who are of Muslim faith or people who are black. We've seen him call African nations as holes, and so it's not really surprising. But what is weird to me is just how creepy he's been obsessed with me and the Somali community.
Now, in reality, despite the large number of money stolen over the course of many years, this was still a relatively small operation. It was not billions a year, it was a billion across multiple operations across multiple years that were all separate from each other. Here's the headline from the New York Times: How fraud swamped Minnesota's social services system on Tim Walz's watch. All but 8 of the 86 people charged in the meals, housing, and autism therapy fraud cases are Somali, according to prosecutors. A vast majority are American citizens by birth or naturalization. Many Somali Americans in Minnesota say the fraud has damaged the reputation of their entire community, around 80,000 people. So 86 out of 80,000, not exactly a community that's rife with fraudsters, although MAGA isn't going to give up on that narrative. Here's just one example of how the right is fear-mongering to turn the public against the Somali community specifically. This account, Geiger Capital, says, in 2023, Somalians in Minnesota sent back over $1.7 billion to their home country, more than the entire nation's budget. At the same time, they are committing massive fraud via U.S. taxpayer programs to fund it. What these idiots don't seem to understand is that it's not the fraud money that's being sent back to these countries. Immigrants are working for paychecks here in the United States and sending some of that money back home. Sending money back home is a completely normal part of the immigrant experience. And you know what? There's a part of this that's also completely normal in the American experience: fraud. I'm not sure why these MAGA goons are upset about defrauding government programs when red-blooded conservative Americans are well known for doing that exact same thing. Rick Scott definitely looks a little white to be Somali. Here's from Common Dreams: New face of GOP healthcare fix is senator linked to largest Medicare fraud scheme in U.S. history. U.S. Senator Rick Scott, former CEO of the company that was the center of the biggest Medicare fraud scheme in American history, has emerged as the most vocal Republican proponent of healthcare reform, warning his fellow GOP lawmakers that continued refusal to engage with this issue risks a slow creep towards single-payer healthcare. Oh yeah, I'm sure the king of stealing money from sick Americans doesn't want universal healthcare. That doesn't seem like it would be good for his business. Or what about Brett Favre? He's damn near royalty to MAGA, and when he stole over $1 million from the state and then worked to misuse millions more for his own personal projects, well, conservatives weren't talking about how there's a French cabal of thieves taking over America, or about rounding up the Scottish and sending them back home. I mean, it's just a ridiculous racist movement full of ridiculous racist people, and when they get a little too comfortable online, they find out in real life, just like that lady at the Cinnabon. We love covering those kinds of stories here at Really American, so if you want to support us, be sure that you're subbed here on YouTube or join us over on Substack. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.